What's up, guys? This is Hot 7 and RCT, bringing you another live stream for you guys. Today, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with some arcade games here, coming or not coming back. Basically, they're on the eShop, which are arcade greats. They're shoot 'em ups, of course. Talking about a few games that were dropped by one of my favorite companies, shoot 'em up companies, that is Psikyo. Now, Psikyo, if you guys have covered or you guys have seen any of the videos that I have on YouTube dating back probably over a year ago, you're gonna see that part of the videos that I did with when it came to hyperspin and emulation and stuff like that, I covered a lot of Psikyo games, just like I covered cave games, Capcom shooters. Oh my God, Takumi was another company that was really hot on shoot 'em ups back in the 90s. And yeah, I was very happy to actually see these shoot 'em ups show up. I'm gonna give a little bit of time here to see if any of the guys show up, which is something I'm going to be starting to do now from here on forward. Kind of give it like a little break in the beginning of the stream. Hey, what's up, Paul? I see you just got in here. Welcome, welcome as usual. That was, by the way, Paul, that was a nice video that you put up with the Toho shoot 'em up gameplay. That was really nice. That's a beautiful shoot 'em up, man. So good on you for doing some more gameplay videos, man. Go for it. Go for it. You seem to have a knack for it, and you know, at least there are some things that you, for some reason, you seem to manage better than I do. I still haven't set up, even though I did set up the Discord, which I need to say I'm sorry for that, because I set up the Discord, but I wasn't immediately going on live. I just wanted to send the invites, just to make a little list and stuff like that, because I still needed to add like the microphone and some other stuff, because I want to incorporate it in the streaming. So sorry for not being able to do that. My time is very limited, but I will be doing that in the next following days. Now, going back to what I'm going to have today, is a mixture of course, you know, the staple Hamster Neo Geo title, which, by the way, I was pleasantly surprised to see that the next title that they had was Aero Fighters 2, or as it's better known in Japan, Sonic Wings. So that's going to be one of the titles. I picked them up all three at the same time, as I'm going to show you here. See, there's we got Strikers. Let me turn off the music here. Got Strikers 1945, which, as you guys should know by now, it's been on every single platform that has any kind of computational power. It's gonna be there. It's been on phones, it's been on tablets, it's been on everywhere that it could be. But it's a really awesome shoot 'em up. Is one of the old school ones. It harkens back to the, you know, and you guys know that I did with Aaron Classic Gamer. We went on one of the sites, a record-breaking sites, to do something on the classic 1942. Well, this is basically a step ahead. It's kind of like the spiritual successor to that kind of series, as you're gonna see by one of the ships that's there. You see the classic 1942, you know, through and through. But this is kind of like taking it a step ahead. You know, it's not part of the series per se, but you can feel, you know, the heritage of the 1942 series in there. Sure, man. That's something that we need to get together to do, is that I've just, you know, I haven't been able to. And Glowing Rice, all right, man. I mean, you told me if I was going to record it, and I said yes, and I still stand by what I said. You're always welcome here. You were sorely missed from some other streams that I did, but I'm happy you're here, man. Yeah, Gunbarich, that was another one. Thanks for mentioning it, Glowing Rice. This was another one that caught me by surprise. I had no idea. I mean, I had no experience previous to this one. It's one of those games from Psikyo that I did not have any contact with before, given the genre, because this game feels like a more modern Arkanoid, if you will. You know, it has a whole Arkanoid feel and power up system. However, the twist is that instead of just using a regular paddle, you have bumpers on it like a pinball. So you have a extra added element of gameplay to it. So, you know, it's kind of cool. That's right. Yes, made it, dude. And I mean, after having the long ass session with Splatoon, because last night I spent the whole night playing Splatoon 2 with one of the guys who usually appears here, Bad Luck's brother, Rafi, and with Insane, which is another one of the users here, viewers. I did a few hours with him as well, so it's been crazy Splatoon, like all day long. Not all day long because I'm working and shit, but basically a lot of my gaming time has been spent in this game. So that's why today is a perfect time to just kick back and relax with these three shooters. Aero Fighters 2 for the Neo Geo. That's a staple. I'm still waiting. I have to take this time to shout out to Hamster Corporation. They have capitalized on the need that we Switch owners have in playing classic games, and since Nintendo still does not release a virtual console on the system, I am very glad that they're being successful with their titles on the system. I really appreciate it. I mean, you know, we could have done a lot worse, but fortunately we got Neo Geo to start off with. So eventually, if Nintendo eventually puts on the virtual console service, at least we have a head start. And now, not only that, I see that with the success of Hamster and these Neo Geo titles, that's where I get the pleasant surprise of finding Strikers 1945 and Gunbarich, because these are Psikyo titles, and the way you see them on the eShop is that it says, like in the description, that these titles are kind of like a Psikyo revival. And that sounds aces, because that means that they are testing the waters with these titles to see if people pick them up in order for them to release more. That means that in the future we can see, you know, Gunbird 1 and 2. We can see some other titles from Psikyo which are awesome. You know, I don't have a list right here, but there's so many of them. And who knows, maybe after them, Takumi will follow suit. And then Cave will follow suit. I'm hoping Dejika Games comes over and starts doing all of the Cave titles, because I know there's money to be had here. And with me, man, I'll purchase them all of them. Now, before heading into gameplay, there's one more thing I want to address. Aside from the shout out to Hamster for doing what they've done so far on the Switch, that has been awesome. I'm calling out Nintendo here for a second. Nintendo, you're my dude, man. You know, you're doing everything with the Switch super awesome, but man, freaking get me some folders on this damn system, man. This is getting out of hand. Look at this shit. I got a whole bunch of titles, and some of the titles I even forget that I even have them, because they're organized in a way. They're not organized. That's it. That's the problem. They're not organized. Listen, I even got Gunner here. I haven't even tried that out for you guys. Implosion, I did. It was pretty cool. Mighty Gunvolt, Minecraft. I have a shit ton of games here. But of course, you kind of don't see that because you have this thin little bar here that only shows part of the games. So come on, Nintendo. Throw an update. You know, throw a bone at us, you know, with an update with folders, so we can at least, or add to that bar and make it like the 3DS. I mean, the 3DS is perfect in that sense. So, all right, let the games begin. Afro Soul, you're right. Welcome as well. Thanks for showing up. So, which one of these three titles do you want me to start with? I'll leave that up to you. Since I'm gonna leave, you know what? I'm gonna leave the choice up to Glowing Rice. Glowing Race, let me know which one you want me to start with, and I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's gonna be it. Let's do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move over to the full screen, because of course the real estate on these shoot 'em ups is not much, because of course these are vertical shoot 'em ups or vertical games that are better suited for a vertical screen, and since this is a wide screen, it brings me to the next thing that I'm going to address, and it's the fact that you have this awesome option that I've been asking for like the longest time already, which is vertical display. Look at the difference from here. This is what we get as gameplay screen, right? Gameplay real estate, compared to this. So now, of course, now we can actually play these vertical shoot 'em ups in vertical mode, turning the switch sideways. But here is a caveat. Psikyo, they kind of figured out, if they haven't heard me complain about it already, but they figured, you know, if we can actually change the screen to vertical, why not change the controller, so that way when you turn the switch around, you have the joystick and the buttons there. For some reason, they did not do it with this title. As you can see here, the options are for orientation of the display, but unfortunately not for the controls. So we're stuck either playing in tabletop mode, turning the screen around, which is not the most ideal. But fortunately, Strikers does have it, which I'm going to show you when we get to that game. So enough of the chit chat, let's go into the game. So I don't know if they're going to add any characters later on, but these are, you have Marion, which I believe she's from Gunbarich. And you have Gruten, which I have no idea what kind of game he's from. But I'm going to choose Marion here. Now, you also have, let me see if it allows me to pause. You also have a filter here, but for some reason the filter is pretty intense. It's not as subtle as, let's say, the Neo Geo titles, which have different degrees of, you know, nuances to make it look old school and stuff. I'm gonna leave it as is, so you can see the colorful graphics and stuff. And for some reason it has a little bit of delay, so if you start seeing me jerking around and missing the ball like I did right now, it's because of the delay with the OBS. Fortunately it does not affect me as much with the shoot 'em ups, but for this one that you need to move side to side with the paddle, it's a little bit hectic. You can try with the D-pad, maybe with the D-pad. Now to nail this with the actual paddle, it's kind of hard to get with the mentioned delay that I said, but getting it with the actual bumpers is even harder. Oh! There you go. Trying to get the hang of the delay. Oh! It sped up on me. Let's give it another go. There's no quarters in here, so... So super powered up. Come on, get that last one. There you go. Well, tilt movement I haven't checked, but I don't think, because it's not something that appears on the option screen of the game. And given to me, you know, it makes sense, at least to me from a business standpoint, the less that you put in to these titles, you know, the more return you're gonna get, you know, in terms of profit and stuff. So I get it that in the beginning, unless it doesn't turn into something very successful that makes a lot of money, they're not gonna be putting a lot of features in it. Hell, but I'm happy enough that we got this title. For starters, because it's one that I never played before. And of course, the other reason is because it's from Psikyo. That means that later on, that was the boss. Later on, we might get some more popular titles and, you know, hardcore, like shoot 'em ups and stuff, which is what I want from Psikyo. Psikyo even basically standardized, if you come to think about it, it's, if you played arcade shoot 'em ups from like a very long time ago, you know that these shoot 'em ups with the power-up system with the little P in the icon, that's kind of Psikyo. Psikyo started doing that kind of stuff, and then other companies started emulating that style. Okay, yeah, this one is kind of tricky because this one has the bullets that if you miss the shot, you get paralyzed for a second, making it much worse to hit it like I got right now. Jeez. Come on. You get to hit the balls and the shots that they throw you. There you go. So all in all, it's a very colorful title. Hectic as hell. Oh! Much more playable because, again, I'm making it look like it's not very easy title. I mean, it's not extremely challenging, but again, it's a little hard with given delay. Ooh, I got shots. So it's kind of hard to react to place the paddle where it's supposed to go. Come on, one last one. There you go. And to make matters clear, the delay that I'm talking about has nothing to do with the game. It's not a delay, input delay with the game or the controller or anything like that. It's because of the streaming software that I'm using, because of OBS. Because believe me, I played this both on desktop mode and I played it on the portable mode, and it's perfect. It controls like butter. Uh-oh. What killed me? Kill! 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 Kill the little teddy bear! Ah! No! Come on, I got one more. Kill the teddy bear! No! One more. I'm gonna play one more credit. Kill the teddy bear. Almost dead. Almost dead. Oh my god. At last. So I'm gonna play this last credit. See where we can get up to. Mario. Damn. Not fair. I can't wait to try something that I'm gonna get eventually, which is the arcade stick from Hori, which is I believe is the Rap 5. It's priced at $149, and like for the Neo Geo Fighters, the Street Fighter 2, and the upcoming, which hasn't been announced yet, the date, Guilty Gear, which I'm waiting for, and some other fighters, it's a perfect arcade stick like for those type of games, and of course the shoot 'em ups. It makes it a whole lot better. Now, there's another option, which is an arcade stick made by the guys 8-Bit Do. The guys that have made the Bluetooth controller for the Switch and for other consoles. They're making an arcade joystick that uses actual Sanwa buttons and joystick, and that one is priced around $80. So there's a more cheaper alternative that actually has better parts. Because to me, I kind of find Sanwa parts much better than the Hayabusa. It's a matter of taste, but I kind of like them better. So that is another option for the system eventually. I'm going to step into the Neo Geo title, which is Aero Fighters. There's, of course, a lot of similarities in these shoot 'em ups, of course, between Aero Fighters, or Sonic Wings, as it's better known in Japan, and Strikers, obviously because of the planes and the whole, vertical shoot 'em up mechanics. Now, we have choice, of course, in the Hamster. Hamster is more experienced doing these types of games, so of course it has a lot more options in terms of display and how are you going to play it and stuff like that. However, they still don't have a vertical display change as of yet. Though it's not really necessary because all Neo Geo titles are done in a format which is horizontal anyway, so it's not really necessary. So let's go in here. Now, bear in mind, Growing Rice and other friends that are on the feed, there are more upcoming shoot 'em ups for the system. We can count on, like, this month or next month, I believe, Cinemora EX is coming up. For some reason, it kind of dropped off the radar. It was supposed to come out this month, so I don't know what's going on with that. The Xbox One version and the PC version has already been announced. It's supposed to be released soon, so I don't know what's going on. But it is coming to the Switch. It was announced way back. So hopefully we'll see that title soon. There's also an indie game that drew inspiration from Ikaruga. You guys remember Ikaruga? It's one of the classic titles with the whole color switching mechanics. They're doing one that's called, I'm trying to remember the name of the game, my god, it's Dimension something. And what it does, it has two screens, two halves of the screen. You play on one part in one dimension, and then in the other it does something else. It's really crazy. You switch from different planes and dimensions, and it looks amazing. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I think it's going to come out soon. So we are seeing very early in the life of the Switch, the actual genre of shoot 'em ups are beginning to strive. You're going to see a lot of really good titles, so that's good. Oh, wait. Forgot I have the start button. And let me change the full screen here. Nice. I actually have the first one that I got on the Steam Summer Sale for, I think, $2 and something. But that's the first one. This one, the EX version, is... Okay, let me play... Hold on a second, guys. I never played this character. I'm going to play Bobby the Baby. See what this is all about. The one that's coming out, that's being released now, is kind of like a remastered version or a spruced up version because it has some more graphical effects and stuff. I don't know how else, if it's gonna change in terms of mechanics, but it's graphically it's gonna look a lot better. And I know because I compared, you know, both the trailers for the new one and the old one that I picked up on Steam, and you can see the difference. Now see, the input lag when I come to play the shoot 'em ups, you can feel it, but it's not as bad as the reactionary nature of the other game, which if you miss by just a smidgen, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna miss the ball. You're not gonna be able to play. Ooh, I like this power up. Never tried this character before. Not too strong, but special though. I miss my mommy. Oh, poor baby. That somehow is a jet pilot. Yeah, power me up, baby. All of these games, if you come to think about it, they are very heavily influenced in the whole 1942 series. You know, with evolved mechanics, of course, but it all harkens to the same archetype, I guess. Come on, doing good. Don't mess it up. Give me my bomb. Oh. Ooh, stealth bomber, baby. Oh! Ah, damn, I was on my first life. I don't know how to swim. I have no idea why he said that, but okay. Ah, since we're going to the water. Okay. Oh yeah, the special stage. And I died. Now again, guys, I know I've been a little bit erratic with the streams as of late, but bear in mind, after the vacation, which was just 1 week, let me play one more credit, which was just one week, which AfroSoul was over here with me. We had a great time during that week. After that, it's been hectic. Oh my god, I'm being... Hold on, guys, because I can't catch a break here. I just marked another credit, and I... Look at that! Credit went in nothing. Okay, last try. Third credit. Those little red shots are almost impossible to see, man. And this is one game that ramps up the difficulty really quick. Oh my god. Give me another bomb because I can use it. Okay, that's it. Ah, hell with it. One more. Fuck it. Just to do with damage. So yeah, as I was saying, I haven't been streaming much, but I will, however, be making up for the lack of streams in the way of short video reviews and showcases and stuff like that. It's something that I've been considering for a while, and it's not because I don't enjoy doing the streams. It's basically more because, number one, the streams, when you guys can, for whatever reason you can't make it, I tend to upload it to YouTube or to VidMe so other people can enjoy it and view it. But for whatever reason, since the streams are usually, longer in length, they tend not to be viewed as much as shorter videos. It's just something that's, I guess, the way YouTube viewers are, that they prefer the short but sweet videos, which, by the way, I did that kind of plug in there for my short but sweet. They tend to do really well. Just like my old emulation videos, which they have tons of views because they were more shorter in nature, aside from the content, of course. So we had two bosses back to back right there. Let's see if I can get into the groove. Nope, no groove for me. So that, my friend, is Aero Fighters 2, or Sonic Wings 2, as better known in Japan. So we're gonna close from here and go into the last title for today, which is Strikers 1945. Later on, I'll be covering. There's still some, like more than half of the games, or 3/4 of the games that I purchased for the summer Steam sale, which I still need to cover for you guys. The awesome Psikyo. From what I understand, 1945, Strikers 1945 came around the time where I think 1943 or shortly after 1944, which was, I think, Loot Master came out on the arcades. So yeah, it's kind of the same. And Psikyo and Capcom has been close for the longest. So this is kind of like a tribute or extension of the series. They're taking some what if kind of path, I guess. But yeah, you feel the whole 1942 vibe here. Even the first ship that you get to choose has the same loop mechanic that 1942 series has. So again, you have the very limited horizontal view. As you see, you cannot. This one actually, unlike the Neo Geo titles, which you can actually zoom in and out and use more of the screen. These, they don't have that option. You only have the display orientation, which again, look at how much more of the screen you can use. And also you have the screen filter. But this one has at least 3 different options. So if you want to play like really old school, you can use that one. That looks kind of like the CRT displays. And you can go back and actually, in the controller settings, you can rotate the controller settings as well. this one is a kind of title that you can actually pull off what I've been wanting for in a shoot 'em up on Switch. You can actually turn the system on its side and actually play it like that. It's amazing. It's super awesome. And especially if you're like me who doesn't have an HD monitor that you can actually turn around vertically to play these shoot 'em ups. So it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead. Now see, you have the P38, which is basically, it's actually, yeah, let me pick this one. This one is 1942 through and through. Sight bullet here, and there goes the loop. Classic 1942 gameplay mechanic. Oh, tell me about it. That's what I'm talking about, Glenn Rice. You know, the arcade stick for these games, amazing. And the great thing about the Hori, both the Hori and the 8-bit Do, which, by the way, the 8-bit Do one, they have two styles, which you need to be careful in order to, purchase it. They have the FC30, which is it has the Famicom colors, but it's basically physically the same arcade stick. And they have the NES30, which is modeled, in terms of color scheme, to the classic NES, the American one. Oh my god, I'm getting plastered. At least I was left with one power up, which is good. I got it all back. Now compared to I forgot I didn't have any bombs. Compared to the bullet hell shooters that we are used to, like the modern bullet hell shooters, these don't have the same kind of hitbox that those titles have, that a bullet, in order to kill you, has to go usually right through the center. So it has, those shooters have kind of a little bit of leeway, a little bit of slack. So if it touches a wing, it won't kill you. But in these, any part of the ship that it touches, you're done. So it has a bit more of a hardcore element to it. Not taking anything away from the bullet hell shooters, because those are difficult as well, especially since you have a lot more in terms of amount of stuff coming at you on the screen at any given time. But you are prone to be, let's say, more prone to be killed in here by a stray bullet than, let's say, in a bullet hell shooter. And this, of course, glowing rice is not, let's say, it's not the time of the age of glowing rice, because it wasn't exactly glowing rice that you had. It was basically red rice. All of the bullets, as you can see, almost all of these bullets were red, which were a pain in the ass to track. At least with the bullet hell shooters, aside from better graphics and anime style, more anime style art design, you got, of course, different colors. And it's basically killing me. And you have limited continues, as you can see here. Here's my age. One last thing is that these shoot 'em ups are all memorization. It's all about memorizing the patterns, and once you get them down, you'll see that it's just like Aaron and I when we had that competition going on with the 1942. That I would pick it up, I would memorize the stages, memorize the patterns, and go a little bit further. Aaron would get in and do the same thing and go a little bit further, and you get the competition, you get like the game, you start getting into the zone. It's all about memorizing the patterns. If you haven't picked it up, or if you're playing like for the very first time, the learning curve is pretty steep. But these are fun games. I'm very happy that Psikyo became a part of the Switch. And I'm hoping to see a lot more titles from these guys and from other companies that do shoot 'em ups as well. Now I'm gonna keep it short, guys. I don't want to be like a bad host and just break out and stuff, especially since Glowing Rice came back. Welcome back, Glowing Rice. I hope to see you in other streams as well, because there's more coming up, man. And I still have, by the way, Glowing Rice, I hope that you can make it for that stream. I purchased recently on Steam Trouble Witches, the complete edition on Steam, and I know I covered that one in one of the arcade streams that I did, but this one is complete and it's remastered with updated graphics and stuff. You're gonna love that one, So hopefully I'll be covering that pretty soon with some other shoot 'em ups that I've got both on PC and some other platforms. So yeah. So thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna go and move straight into this scene right here. I'm gonna say thank you, Glowing Rice. It was really nice seeing you drop by and at least exchange like this. I know you've been busy and doing some stuff just like I have. Hopefully, I already set up I haven't set up the Discord. I made the account, and hopefully I'll have Paul Winchester help me out with some more details with that. So hopefully we'll get everything signed up and get all of you guys into that server. So next time around, or maybe the time after that, when I put up a stream, we can all talk and have a great time together. It's all about this. RCT and the streams is all about having a good time. So that being said, and with this nice kind of military pep music, I'm gonna bid farewell and hope you guys have a good time. See you next time. Take care, buddies.